Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, just like I did. I slept in till noon. I needed a break after all of that video editing and shooting that we did for the Dueling Dealers episode that everybody probably saw last night in one way or another. I finally posted a composite video of that whole story too onto YouTube. I'll put a link in the chat sometime later today just so you can see it. It's about 10 minutes long. But good evening. I see Matt and Chris and yeah, everybody. Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Thank you. Yep. Hello, everybody. West, good to see you as well. And Nick is giving us a thumbs up, and he's actually in the green room because we're going to be starting off the show today with Nick Barucci and talking about a few fun things that we've been cooking up for a little while, most recently. And David, nice to see you as always. And thank you for all the positive comments you put into the comment section. That doesn't get used a lot, but I wish more people did. Comments after the show also help the algorithm, as Nick always tells us about the thumbs up and everything. But comments are always helpful too because it does raise us up in searches and all those sorts of things, makes us appear more relevant. And of course, we already know we're more relevant than anyone else in the comic art hobby here on YouTube and Facebook doing these live streams. But yeah, last night was a lot of fun. As you can tell, it was a lot of work to put together a 10-minute video. Literally, it was about between Anthony, Sharon, and Mike and I, and then the girls, we probably had about 15 hours of video shooting, which produces a ton of video, as you can imagine, and then trying to composite all that down to 10 minutes. Ashton and I, my son and I, who was Scooby during that show, he and I probably logged about 50 hours of video editing to get down to 10 minutes, if you can believe it. Every 10 minutes was about a 9-hour edit when it came down to just, cropping out the best spots of each section and actually getting, because most of the times we're doing, just like in a real show, we're doing 3 or 4 takes on some of the lines and we're trying to pick which ones sound right and then merging them all together into what you saw the other day. So at any rate, it was a good time and I hope everybody enjoyed it. And we were brainstorming today. We came up with some incredibly fun ideas for future themed shows, as well as a few ongoing kind of concepts that I know everybody will get a kick out of. I think that the main thrust being is that we just want to continue to have fun and put on a very entertaining show for everybody. That's, we love the idea that, we're selling art and keeping everybody happy. And hey, James, I'll be talking about you later on in the show as well. And Chuck, hello. But, at the end of the day, we want to have a good time. We're just trying to make everybody have something fun to do midweek. It's hump day. It's in the middle of the week. We want to do something that keeps everybody enthralled and gives you something to do, even if you watch it afterwards. So Dueling Dealers, as I've told you, is such a fun thing for us to do. And it's cool to get to do it with everybody in the family. Last night was Ashton's first time running the clock because Maureen and my other daughter are down in Florida. So that's why the clock sometimes didn't start soon. We couldn't figure out how Maureen always made the bell work. All those other things that just didn't work out. But it's always a family experience when we do the Dueling Dealer show. So at any rate, it was a good show. And I've got some other news about that show as well, because we've got some interesting things coming up with that. As you can see, I'm wearing my Cran Boys t-shirt. I don't know if everybody remembers them, but they were the collecting group that is in basically Northeast Ohio. And they're mostly con sketch guys. So I found this in the closet. I hadn't worn it in a while. This is their Snake Plissken version. I think it's pretty cool. And I think it's the first time I've worn it. So I hate to say that to those guys. But I got to get to them back on the show sometime as far as the interviews go, because they've got about a dozen people in their group. And I believe we've only had about 4 of them on the interview show before. So I've got another 6 at least that I've got to talk to. Let's see. The green screen footage. You're absolutely right, Chuck. There is a lot of green screen footage that would be worthy for an outtake show for sure. We really did have a lot of fun with it. It was a very unique experience. Who was Scrappy? Carlos has. There was no Scrappy. I think Anthony's son did try to do a Scrappy voice at some point during the show. But yes, and I would have to say that too. I was going to say that for later, but it was really fun watching Anthony get that win. We had no idea the score was that close, and when we saw that he was $300 away, I thought it was really appropriate for Mike to throw in there that, hey, offer that one piece of $301 to get you over. And it came to fruition and Anthony got the win. So it was a good experience. I always tell everybody, to me, Dueling Dealers is not a show about competition. I know, in my write-up, it's all 2 men enter, 1 man leave. It's, I spin it like that just because it's part of the PR, but I don't see it that way. It's not who matter. It doesn't matter to me who wins or loses, and hopefully it doesn't matter to everybody out there who wins or loses. But I want to see Anthony win, and so does Mike. To be honest with you, we always root for him. The last couple of shows, we've always, like I told you, I think a week or two ago, we felt he should have won because his artwork was in many ways better than Mike. So again, it's just we try to have fun with it. And there's never any sour grapes in the green room after the shows are over. So won by $1. That's true. Anthony has won and he won twice by $25 early in the show's history as well. So he's had some very narrow wins. But when we do the low end show, I'm sure everybody remembers that Anthony tends to win the majority of those against Mike, and when he's gone against amateurs as well. So it's definitely his forte. And Sharon's cakes always win. Very, very, very true. All right, so like I mentioned, I got Nick in the green room, so I could chat a ton, but I know Nick has somewhere to be this evening, so I don't want to keep him delayed to his evening's events. So I can see he's ready to go. So why don't I bring Nick into the chat right now?
Hey, Bill, everybody. How are you guys?
Well, I think everybody's good. We're all in a good mood here on this Thursday evening. And but how about you, Nick? I mean, I know you weren't able to have your show last week. I forgot to play your the preview that you sent me because I got so sidetracked last Thursday. But you're back, and the EXP show is going to be tomorrow night, right?
It is. And no worries, man. I know you got a lot going on, and you just came back from your trip. Listen, one quick thing though. You told me about one of the ideas of the new format, and we're going to keep this private just to us and everybody watching live and everybody watching later. But the idea of sacrificing one of your kin if you lose a Dueling Dealers. I like Mike's brother. Haven't met Anthony's kids. I'm sure I would like them if I met them. I think maybe hold off on that one just yet. Because I can see Anthony throwing that one if he's mad at his kids.
Yeah, he would. He definitely would. But I'll table that idea for maybe 2023.
Exactly.
But yeah, but like we talked about, there's a lot of fun things that are gonna happen, and we just want to, like I mentioned, it's all about having a good time on that show. We like to sell art. That's a big part of it, of the whole thing, of course. I mean, when COVID started, every dealer, every collector, everybody was wondering where they were going to have avenues to sell. So selling is a big part of that show. But the thing that gives me joy is just being able to put on an entertaining show and present Mike and Anthony and any amateur that shows up as in those shows as well in the best light possible, so that we can all have a good time and have something to high five each other when we can actually hang out in person again. So that's what it's all about for me.
Absolutely. And you know what? And everybody has fun. That's why you have so many viewers. And listen, not too many shows like this would tap out at over 300 viewers at times. So it brings a lot of joy. But tonight I want to get right to the big thing, only because it is so cool. And I want anybody who has questions to shoot them off to Bill. None of this is on me. This is all Bill. No, I'm kidding.
Well, right. Well, this is something. So we've got an announcement, something really fun that we're going to be doing with Comic Art Live for which is the weekend after next. It's related to that, but it's at any rate. It's something I approached Nick about with the spring show, and I just was so busy then with the start of Dueling Dealers and everything else going on, we couldn't really talk about it. So I made a point of bringing it up, and we really only just started talking about it less than a month ago, just to see what was possible. And Nick ran with it. He's made this happen, and it's going to be really, 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 really cool. And I don't know who should announce it first, but at the end of the day, there is going to be. I'll do it.
Yes, you should.
What I approached Nick about back in May was I thought it'd be fun to do some kind of a variant comic book for Comic Art Live. I mean, comic books are where our hobby originates from, right? I mean, and I thought if we're gonna be like a legitimate show of some kind, we really should be able to create some kind of takeaway from that show. And so I approached Nick. Nick has agreed to help me put this together. In fact, he's really doing all the work. I'm just nodding my head and giving thumbs up as an approval. But so what we put together is a variant cover to Vampirella Unholy #1. And it's actually Nick's got the cover right there. I'll let him kind of hold it up. I'll go full screen on him here while he's holding it. But yeah, that's me on the cover in a Dueling Dealers shirt. So it's going to be cool. I've got I'll show you close-up scans of it, which I've got as well. But this is it's just something fun, just like we've talked about and done with Dueling Dealers, and the trading cards that are going out now, and the T-shirts that we've had Anthony print and send out, and then the things that you guys have given us with the poker chips and those sorts of things. It's just something fun that we can give back to the hobby as it's just another takeaway from all the fun that we've been able to have these last 18 months online, doing the Comic Art Live channels and shows, and just CAF for 19 years, right? We're almost to that point now. So we're really, really, really excited to do it. And it's Ken Heiser, by the way. Just I saw James asked who was the artist on that one. So I can show you detailed images of it here.
And Bill, Marcus has a request.
Oh, okay. Where was that? Oh,
just let him know that if he buys 10,000 copies at $20 each, that makes it worth. So is that a claim, Marcus? 10,000 copies at $20 each for Bill in the Vampirella bikini? You have to pay up front. Nothing personal. It's got to be all up front.
I'm going to break a lot of cameras during that photo shoot. But yes, well, good. I'm glad everybody thinks it's cool. Here, I'll show you a couple of close-ups as well. Here was this is the penciled version, and then the inks on top of it. So there is an original. We'll talk about that as well. But Ken did a fantastic job on this, and here's a close-up of it. I look a little devious in that, but I like it. I think it captured me very well, and it's got the sword that's hanging on the wall behind me. So we tried to keep a few of the props in there as well, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be very cool, and I don't know a lot about Indiegogo, but we're going to be doing all the pre-order stuff through there, and it's going to start. I think we talked about doing it 2 days after Comic Art Live was over, I believe. Nick.
Yeah,
but we do have a link to share, and I'll be able to put that in the chat. It's going to also be linked to the report that I do for every CAF update as well. So it'll be there, but I'll share it in the chat as well. And you can sign up for the announcement, so you get a ping when it goes live. But the main thing here is that the original art will be a line item on it. And again, I've never done a Kickstarter on my own where I've set it up. Nick's more familiar with those, but essentially the cover will be available for sale, and 100% of that will go to the Hero Initiative. Don't tell Jim McLaughlin yet, because this is something Nick and I literally worked out a couple hours ago on what we wanted to do with that. So let me call Jim tomorrow, and then we can make it all public. But that's the sale of the original art is going to go 100% to Hero. We at the end of the day, and Nick and I have talked about this a lot, we want to do as many good things for the community as we can. We helped out Felix with the Dueling Dealer 25th episode. We're going to be doing on the 50th episode, a charity near and dear to Anthony which is the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We're going to be doing a fundraiser for that as well during that show. And so when we were talking about this, I always kind of had in the back of my mind that if there were any proceeds that were going to come my way or whatnot, I felt like I should donate it. And then Nick agreed that we could put the cover into the Indiegogo, sell it at a really reasonable price, I'm sure. But then 100% of that will go to the Hero Initiative. So Nick, I can't tell you, you're always in the chat, and I'm just so happy that it seems like we've only known each other. We haven't even known each other for a year. But
we really started talking in like March, I think.
Right.
That's
it was after, once the EXP was out there, and I was really doing more with Dueling Dealers. So we've known each other for a very short time, but I feel really close to you. I can't wait to actually get to hang out and go out to dinner, because that's what we need to do. But we've accomplished so much in such a little time, and I think that we've got a really bright future ahead of us to do good things for the hobby and good things for charities that are important to us and important to the community. And this is just another step along the way of just doing great things for everyone around us and continuing to make the hobby a good place and a fun place for everyone.
It is. Show the art one more time up close and zone in on your face, because I'll disagree with the devious. That looks, to me, that's more of a look of, oh my God, we put it all together and we did it. We did it. There we go. And check out how great the room is. Because really, that's what Comic Art Live is when you have it each weekend. It really, really is just opening the door to the world's biggest original art convention for comic art. It really, really is. Where else are you going to find? How many pieces of art was last time? Was it like 90 pages of 18 per page or something?
No, what was that for? I'm sorry. I was reading the chat and got a little sidetracked.
No, no, no. The Comic Art Live, the one that you had in May, wasn't like 90 pages at 18 pieces of art per page or something crazy like that?
You mean as far as how many people were exhibiting art? I'm not sure what you mean.
How many pages of original art? How many actual?
Oh, were listed for sale. It was around 4,800 total, and let's see, I can't remember the exhibitor count for that show, but it was a lot, and I believe we sold about 20% of the artwork that was shown there. It was huge. That show peaked as far as sales go. Just over, I think, $1.3 million in sales to collectors and dealers and artists who exhibited at it. So it was a really successful weekend for everybody. I think the prior show to that, we had only sold about $750,000 of art sales that we could track. So it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, as everybody knows. I always stress that these shows are a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun. And I think that we finally reached a point where I can enjoy it a little bit more. I've got good help on the panels. I was going to talk a little bit more about that later in the show when I kind of give you the scoop on some of the panels that we've got set up for the show already. And the whole schedule's almost, I think, almost ironed out. It's going to be a really, really great panel set, different than what we've had before. But again, just it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, I feel really great that we're at a point now where we can do more with it. And because we know how things work, and now I feel like I can step out of it a little bit more, and was able to talk to you, Nick, about doing a project like this. And I'm sure it's going to be the first of many. I think there's a lot of other things that we can do, future shows of Comic Art Live, and we've already talked about doing a few things with Dueling Dealers as well that we can't talk about. But
yeah, we're going to focus on this right now. And I think that's one thing the fans don't. They appreciate it when they know it, but they don't actually. Unless you're doing something like this, you don't feel it. But like you just said, you've got almost all the panels worked out. You mentioned to me a few of the panels, and they're going to be fantastic. And the thing that people don't realize, and when you sit back and look at it, you work almost up until the morning of the weekend, and then after that first show, you and Maureen programmed everything so that people could save their favorite pieces. So
exactly.
that was after the show was over on Sunday night at like 5:00. You were like, "Oh my God, we could do this! Let's do this real quick!" And you guys worked on it and allowed everybody to save everything up until 10:00. Nobody else would. There's so few people that would sit there and go, "Oh, the fans really like some of this. Let's do something to allow them to save it so that, we can't keep the convention open." I mean, that's too much server space, too much everything. But let's do something that allows them to have that memory more real, more in front of them. There were a couple of fun points that were here. James said, "I wonder what the 1 minute later cover looks like."
Exactly. Well, hopefully Vampirella's giving me a kiss on the cheek or something, and she's not, draining me of my lifeblood. But who knows? But I agree. It's and we're working on stuff. Tomorrow is actually our with Maureen, even down in Florida. We've got the whole day is set aside to doing some programming updates and whatnot for Comic Art Live. We're almost done with the announcement programming thing that we wanted to put together that will allow exhibitors to push out two announcements per day, whether it's related to something that is going to be dropping on Sunday, or if it's they're dropping their prices Saturday evening. That we wanted to give people who were exhibiting the opportunity to at least market themselves a little bit within the site, and then share those things socially too, just to help bring more people back into the show while it's going on. So that's the thing that we're going to wrap up tomorrow programming wise. So people who have an exhibitor booth already will probably see a link for announcements appear. It won't work yet for you, but it should appear tomorrow while we're tinkering with things.
Nice. And you got David Matheny, who is calling you Gandalf. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, I've kind of shaved things. I've got the shaggy thing still going on here, though. I've got to
Well,
trim
you got
that
your
back.
tooth fixed, so that's good.
I did. I went to the dentist this morning. I should have had that on. I should have been prepped and ready when that happened to put the tooth black on when I came back on screen, like we did on that boxing match between
Yeah.
Jordan and Anthony. That was fun. I didn't have time to think about that.
No.
Honestly, I thought about the moment after I got slapped, and I looked around because the tooth black is like somewhere right around here. See, like very, very close by, but I couldn't do it. There's no way it would have looked like I would have probably blacked out all of my teeth in front. So
Nah, you would have been going crazy. I mean, that show last night, God bless you, man. God bless you. That was like 48 hours of work for 10 minutes of screen time. But
yeah.
it made the 2 hours of the show, just added that little punch you wouldn't get anywhere else. And real quick to David, one other thing. We do have some Chaos comics coming out. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. But we do have Purgatory in stores right now, and we also have Nyx from the Vampirella universe coming out. So just don't want David to think I wasn't paying attention. But you know, he threw out that Gandalf comment. I thought that was really cool.
Well, I appreciate it, David, as well. But so yeah, it's going to be fun, and again, this is something that Nick and I'm sure we're going to partner on other projects like this going forward, and we'll keep you updated as we have new ideas and things that we're going to bring to the community. But this is a fun one, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've never come on, it'll be my first time on a comic book cover. How cool is that? It's every fanboy's dream, right? I mean, it either be in a page. I'm always jealous. So, you talk when I do my interviews with collectors, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm friends with so and so, and he drew me into this page, and and then he gave it to me, because he's a good patron to that artist." And that's just so cool. So being able to be on a book, any book, and this one in particular is just it's a dream come true. It truly is.
Well, and I think I want to throw out a little bit more credit to you to, what we were initially doing with the art was Bill and I talked about using it as a subscriber giveaway for him to grow his sub count, and Bill literally said, he's like, you know what, I would love that, but let's raise money for charity. So that was all Bill. That was all Bill's decision. We'll give Ken, the money for the art like anybody else would, and let's just give all the money to charity. And Bill's just been such a huge supporter of the Hero Initiative, and the Hero Initiative helps so many artists. It makes perfect sense. So, everybody, the sign up page, maybe Bill has the link.
I do. I can, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Yeah. So sign up if you can. You get an emailer when it launches. We're going to launch it after Comic Art Live. Bill's got enough on his plate between now and then. And after Comic Art Live, we'll be launching it. And I can't remember who asked. It might have been Ronald. Ronald, yes, there will be a package available for signed copies, and they will be signed by Ken and by Bill. And blank covers with Bill head sketches sounds perfect. So those will be signed by Ken and Bill as well. And you'll be able to order the Bill alive or the Bill bloodless, because you'll see all the blood and Vampy biting into his neck. So we'll have some fun. And Marcus, you're right. Why do we only have 20? Oh, I know why it's only 21 likes. Listen, everybody, hit like for Bill. I know you don't want to hit it for me. That's fine. But hit the thumbs up for Bill. Remember, it's his show.
Yes, because I never remember to tell anybody to do that, but I do appreciate it, Nick. Where would I be without you and your thumbs up? So no, it's funny, Nick. When you're not here, somebody steps up. They're like, "Where's Nick?" All right, and they'll run with it. So there's always somebody who's cheering everybody on in most of the shows. So it's a great community that we've grown here, and we all support each other. So again, I'm floored. I really am. I'm just so happy to be in this position after all the time that I've spent working in the hobby and everything. That I'm finally to a place where I can do more with things and enjoy it. Like I think we were always kind of supposed to, but again, I feel very fortunate to be working with you, Nick, on this, and it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to see what we also cook up in the future.
Yeah, there is a lot of cool stuff, guys. We both, Bill and I, think that everything we have going on will continue to build, and we'll be bringing other people into this. And look, all I can say is however you can support Bill. Listen, for those of you who have signed up for CAF, if you can sign up for premium, please do. Anytime anybody can hit up a super chat or a super sticker, please do. But at the very least, if you hit the thumbs up and you share the video, that just helps Bill's algorithm, and it helps the entire community. The entire community grows together, and I think that we're all seeing the fruits of it. The irony is, I think I've brought this up before, is COVID changed everybody's life, but it changed this community's life for the better, because we all knew each other through CAF. We're, faceless people for the most part, but community. And we would always help each other. But now, Bill and I were talking about this. It's such a great position to be in for people that Bill help out and support. He supports the people that supports him. It is so much more fun being in a chat and chatting with each other and chatting with Bill or chatting with Mike and Anthony or Dino or Jordan or Tatiana or Mike Lovitz when they were here. It's so much interaction that, even with CAF, like you were sending CAF messages through CAF mail, it's cool because you're connecting, but doing it on the chat is just awesome. So everybody, Bill made the most of this, and we all are, and he helped. So support where you can, and thumbs up, man. And Joe put you in Morning Glories. That's awesome, Timothy. Congrats.
Exactly. See, I've been jealous of that. It's like, I always hear these little stories like that. I'm like, man, I gotta talk to artists more. I was saying that the other day on the Oming interview and sale, that the artists are like the least talked to segment of our hobby that I get to interact with. Collectors and dealers and auction houses. I talk with everybody but the guys and gals creating the artwork. It's just it's unfortunate. So I haven't made that relationship where somebody would actually do that for me. So, but now we have that opportunity here. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Chris, for that, because Nick asked. I appreciate that, Chris and Nick, for letting everybody know. But these do mean a lot. Trust me, guys. These things go back into the shows that we do completely. My son is he's on the payroll now, so he does a lot of the video editing for me for the things that we do here. He always puts together the CAF update videos. So I'm employing him now that he's graduated college. He's going to work for us for a few years and then move on to probably much greater things. But he'll have a great work history. Yeah, and in a couple of years, he'll learn everything about what we do here on YouTube, and he's actually really good at it already. But then he's going to be doing some website help for me and a few other things. So he'll be ready to tackle anything out there that he wants to, and leave the nest at some point. But
and you've got Colin, and you've got other people.
That reminds me. I hate to, I actually had noted right on I don't want to say it, but I actually wrote down the first thing. Everybody, if you see Colin, anywhere you see Colin, make sure you wish him a happy birthday, because his birthday was yesterday. And I threw so much work at him yesterday, I felt terrible. But he still wrote, Colin still does most of the writing. He put together the auction preview yesterday, which was very, very detailed, because I think we had 3 different companies come to us in the days leading up to it, and to get in that list. And so it was it was a bit of a struggle to make sure we got it all together and got it right. But it was Colin's birthday yesterday, and I worked him to death, and he deserves a high five. So if you see him, give him a high five. And if you're friends with him on Facebook and you didn't notice it was his birthday yesterday, please wish him a happy birthday, because CAF wouldn't be where CAF is today without the effort that Colin has put in the last year and a half. I mean, really, since the first Comic Art Live event, that June 2020, Colin started taking over posting the news and helping me with the weekly write-ups that we do for the market reports for what we show today later on. And he's just a key part of everything that's going on here in CAF. And he's as important as everybody else. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do the things we do without the effort that he does. So thank you for reminding me. I would have came back to it, but I had to get that out there. So yes.
No, that's great. Happy birthday, Colin, man. Thanks for everything you do. It means a lot to all of us. You know, I would imagine Colin doesn't even realize how much joy it is for all of us to open up that daily email, see whose art's getting spotlighted, art we might have missed, writing up everybody's announcements, making sure that the art dealers and the auction houses are all getting attention. It's a lot of freaking work. And the fact that it gets done on a regular basis, you know, he's a great asset to you. Stanley, yeah, the Friday original art shows are continuing. I just had to take last Friday off. Just some stuff hit the fan and, you know, didn't want to disappoint anyone. Coming back this Friday with some really strong pieces that I've never had some of these artists on the air before. So it's going to be a good show, you know. And Chris Snorek says Colin picked my Chiarello for feature. Nice. Wasn't this yesterday? Was this yesterday or the day before? I'm trying to remember because that was for Mark Chiarello's birthday. I do remember it was for Chiarello's birthday. And so being picked for Chiarello's birthday, that's really awesome, Chris. Congratulations.
Right. And I should say that Colin does put together the daily email too. So he really does a lot. I mean, I was killing myself doing everything CAF related, and because I started doing those reports and the daily email in June of 2019, so long before COVID hit. But by the time we got to Comic Art Live, the first show in May 2020, I was about ready to drop. I couldn't keep up that pace. And then when we did Comic Art Live, that was just another layer of work on top of me. I couldn't do it. And fortunately, Colin was available at the time. So because we wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing here. I wouldn't have been able to get us to where we were doing 2 or 3 shows a week. At that point in time, I was only able to handle 1, but I knew that there was the opportunity to do more. And with the fact that Colin was available, that's how we were able to kind of make all that happen and branch out and do 2 talk shows a week, 2 interview shows a week, and eventually Dueling Dealers and the other things that we've been able to do. But yeah, again, it's his effort and hard work. And I hope that if he didn't get out last evening, he's at least out this evening having a beer with friends in Massachusetts, which is where he hails from. Nice. But he's a busy guy. He also volunteers and does all the posts over at what is it? That was for conventionscene.com. So he handles all of that too. So if you go over there, you'll see tons of posts by him. So he does that. I think on the side for fun, but then he's done that for as long as I've known him. So probably for more than 10 years. So very busy guy, but I'm glad to have him as part of the team. So do you want to do a little preview? Should I play the preview?
Play the preview. Play the preview.
All right. So this is so like Nick said, it was my fault. I forgot to tell everybody last week that Nick wasn't going to be on last Friday. So I do have a preview for you today, and I'm going to play that, and then we'll talk a little bit about the art. So let me show that to you.
Hey, everybody. I know we took this past Halloween off, but this Friday, November 5th, we are going to make up for it. We have such great art on the original art experience. Check it out. We have Fantastic Four 233. This is one of the single most powerful pages John Byrne has ever written and drawn, and I am a huge fan, and that is saying a lot. We have, for the first time ever, Stephen Platt art from Cable Wolverine. We have never had Platt art before. We have Kevin Maguire. I can't believe it's not the Justice League. Now, this is an unpublished cover, but it's still Kevin Maguire on the Justice League. We also have, and we know Eros is coming, Avengers 251 with Star Fox, Vision, and Scarlet Witch. This is going to be a huge page. We have The Champions, also by Bob Hall. I think this might have been inked by Don Heck, but you know what? You can correct me on Friday at 7. And then we also have Legendary Vampirella, cover by Sergio Davila. We also have, now listen, this is mostly stat, but it is the printed page. We have the Avengers 120, pages 16 and 17, double page spread. There's a little bit of art. It is mostly stat, but man, is it still beautiful. We have Harley Quinn Power Girl by Stephen Rue, who we've never had on the air before either. And last but not least, and the page that will be painful of itself, but if it does, it makes a fan happy, that's all that matters. Giant Size Avengers, number 3, by Dave Cockrum and Joe Giella. And man, you've got Immortus, you've got Baron Zemo, 2 important characters in the Marvel Universe. They're all important, really, but we're pointing them out because of what is coming. So, this Friday, November 5th, 7 p.m., only on The Experience. And please hit that thumbs up button and share. Sharing is caring. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you all. You know, I must have had 3 cameras on me because they see the camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah, you know, Berkey's always yelling at me. He's like, "How do you got to make me skinnier. You got to make me thinner." I'm like, I can't work miracles, Mike.
And you're not even eating any of Sharon's cake.
I know. I'm like, if you just stop eating fast food every day, maybe you would trim down a little bit. So yes, that's my advice to him. I can't do it in the video editing at all, although I've tried.
But he does have the best smile in the industry. He's got that unbelievable infectious smile, which is a lot of fun. And look, like was said, last night's show was so cool. You know, Mike is very gracious. That's a good part of the show. Anthony is just so funny on the shows. Sharon is fantastic. But Mike going out there and saying, "Come on, Anthony, sell that other page for $301 so that you beat me." And they closed the deal, and it was fun, which is what this hobby is. This hobby is fun more than anything else.
I completely agree. I liked when I didn't say anything about at the time, but he had his 2 pieces of art up, and he kind of went like this, and he's like, "Here's Johnny." And then I didn't know if anybody noticed that, but I was dying. But I forget what was going on. I couldn't comment. I think I was trying to get Anthony started on something when he did it. But it's those little things like that make the show fun. Just their characters, in real life, and it shows when we do those shows. So it's there's lots of funny bits in everything that we do during Dueling Dealers. So I completely agree with you on your views on both of those guys.
Everybody, seriously, like I said, Bill made a great call. I just want to show this one more time. Bill made a great call. This is going to be very affordable on the Indiegogo campaign, and all the profits are going to the Hero Initiative. So, keep in mind all this original art that is fantastic. A lot of the older creators aren't getting the benefit of the original art sales when they sold them decades ago. And even some of the newer creators are who fall on hard times. The Hero Initiative is there for them, and we're trying to be there for the Hero Initiative. So just, sign up, and for nothing else, just to check it out. If you end up supporting it, obviously Bill and I will be forever grateful. But I wanted to point that out. And I want to thank everybody who gives me kind words. And yeah, I'm sorry, real quick. David is asking to see the Daredevil comics. We can't have a comic. We can't have a Friday night show. This one just went down in price, by the way. This went from $89.99 to $50. We do have Ken Hazer remarks on the air. So we have 4 different of Elektra as Daredevil on issue number 600, even though it happened in the new series. Issue 600 blanks we were able to get. And, the Chip Zdarsky series, if you haven't been reading it, read it. Elektra has become Daredevil. It's a great story. His series is up there in the top 5 or 6 best Daredevil runs right now, in my opinion. Which is pretty high watermark considering how big of a Daredevil fan I am. It's just a great series to pick up. I think there were 32 or 34 issues. Sometimes it all melts together. And now there's Devil's Reign coming out from Marvel that Chip is, helping to oversee, put together. Just a great series. So these are going to be available tomorrow night. 7 o'clock on the Experience. And, the only two, I'll leave this with 3 things because Bill has to give you guys all the stats and everything. One, no matter what, whether you're watching this now or watching it later, thumbs up. It helps Bill's algorithm. ML's telling me to stay away from the original art. There isn't enough. Thumbs up. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 on the Experience. And if you do get a chance to subscribe there, that'll be appreciated as well. So, Bill, thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Hosting us, doing everything. And this is going to be exciting, everybody. Bill he's already always been immortalized in our hearts for everything he does. Now he's going to be on the comic. And I will say, this is far better than my first appearance in the comic.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
22 Brides. And Jimmy Palmiotti, was it 20? No, it was Ash. It was Ash, the firefighter series. And Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada had me on my knees begging for my life with Don Delfini. Jimmy and Joe put all their friends in the comics, and they called me Nicky the Roach because they said I survive everything, like Marvel bankruptcy, everything. I survived it. And so I'm sitting there with sweat coming down my face, and I get shot in the head. And when I get thrown out, I still live. But the funniest thing was they faxed me that page. I will just tell everybody, this is a great story, in my opinion. So going back a little bit, when the distribution wars first started, Marvel bought Heroes World, DC signed an exclusive with Diamond. When we first started doing signed books, DC, once they signed their exclusive with Diamond, to sell any DC items there that were not that you were buying from them to get signed, you had to do a deal with DC to make it work, which we ended up doing. But before that happened, and this will show how old we are, I got a fax from Joey and Jimmy, and it's me on my knees praying, and Joe puts on the cover sheet Nick Barucci asking DC Paul Levitz for a signed book license. And then 3 months later, it's in the comic.
Wow. That's awesome.
Far better for you, Bill.
But did you get the art? Do you now own the art?
No.
It's out in the wild.
I'll they gave me that one Daredevil piece, so I'm always counting your blessings. That's the one thing. But it was hysterical. I mean, that was back in the day, it's like 1995. So, okay, we weren't doing thermal faxes at that point. But it was just so funny getting that. I'm like, why did you guys take your time to draw me on my knees as a joke? Mm-hmm. And it's like, Joe, you could have done anything and done, and then all of a sudden, like 3 months later, you see it in the comic. I was like, that was hysterical.
That's awesome.
So
that's a good first time in. So have you been drawn in more than once, or is that the only time?
I have been, and for some reason, I always get drawn getting killed or beat up. No.
I know that's what they tell me about. With the Dueling Dealers, Bill, you're always getting hurt. You're always getting. Well, I mean, but that's kind of, I like that comedy. It's not a bad thing to lose a tooth every once in a while or to drown in quicksand. So,
it's a digital tooth.
Exactly. No one was harmed, really. So, all right, Nick. Well, listen, it's always fun, and I appreciate you coming on. And I'm sorry I messed up your announcement last week, but yeah, I look forward to doing this with you. I think it's going to, it's really, it's fun for me to be able to be on a cover, but also to be able to give back to the Hero Initiative. And we'll keep everybody posted. I'll start adding this into our news that we send out related to the Comic Art Live show. And I'll even slide it into some of the daily announcements as well, so just to get people prepped and ready for it. And hopefully, it does well, and we're able to do some good for charity. And I can't thank you enough. I think it's going to be a great thing. And Maureen had a big kick out of it. She was the one who said that Ken drew me too fat in that one.
Yes.
The first drawing, I was a little kind of portly. My love handles were bigger than they should be, and so it's trimmed down. I look a little better, look a little more fit than I am. But I tell Ken I appreciate it.
Well, Ken put your head on my body. That's why the love handles were there. It was the composite art collectors instead of the composite Superman.
There you go.
So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Everybody be well. And listen, I will pimp this. Next week's Dueling Dealers may still be on Wednesday. Save your money for Dueling Dealers. From what Bill told me, it's going to be a great one. And then, of course, Comic Art Live next weekend. It is going to be a blast. I have no insight from anyone except for a few people have told me that they're upping their game from last time. Nobody wants to let anybody know what they have because no one wants it to slip so that everybody can be surprised. And everybody, just remember, go in right away, put in either your favorite character or your favorite artist, and look at those pages first because you really don't want to miss out. And I will plug one last thing. Don't forget, if you're a premium subscriber, if you haven't become premium yet, and it helps the bill a lot if you become a premium subscriber. So if you have the money and can afford to be premium, remember, you get in 2 hours earlier on Saturday. And that is a huge leg up. It is a huge leg up. Right now, I'm creating so much competition for myself.
We all support each other, Nick, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think the more things like the EXP channel and what we've done on Comic Art Live, we're all doing good for each other at the end of the day. I think it's a win-win for us all to be raising awareness for the hobby and for our own businesses and our side projects that we do. So we all benefit, and the hobby benefits with us as well. So
yep. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Bill, again. Take care, everybody.
All right. Good night, Nick. Thanks for coming on. Hey, all right. Now that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I'm glad that Nick had some time tonight, and I'm glad everybody thought that was cool. I do all these things kind of in a vacuum, and then we kind of work things out, and I hope they're cool, and I hope people think they're fun, and I'm glad it seemed like everybody thinks that that was a good idea. I think it is, and again, it was. Well, I'm sure we're going to do other things in the future as well. We just. I should here. I'm going to do it. I wanted to open this thing for a while. I got this in the mail from Jeff Wedding, and I'm sure I already know what it is. We looked at some of them last night on the Dueling Dealers, but I think I got this on Monday, so I've been waiting a very, very long time to open this up. But it's all back to just finding fun ways for us all to enjoy the hobby a little bit more. I'll put this thing without cutting myself. All right, another package inside. Very, very weighty. Let's see here. Oh, oh my. I've got another genuine Fred Hembeck sketch card, and it's the terrific What's It from 2001. Look at that. That goes right in the heck because I haven't done anything with the other one I got yet. Look, so there you go. From Jeff Wedding, I've now got two pieces of art by Fred Hembeck. Thank you so much for that. And let's see here. What do we got? Hey Jeff, there was no letter in here. I'm just letting you know. I asked you about that going in. Nope. I think you only wrote the nice letter to Anthony. Anthony was like, "Should I read that on the air, Bill?" And I'm like, "I don't think you should read anybody's private letters in a public forum." So he didn't do it. But let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. There's a COVID-19 awareness training poker chip inside of there. Very, very cool. And, oh boy, these are great. All right, let me get this open here. All right, so these I've got a stack of poker chips. that go with the CAF ones that I got a few weeks back from Jeff. And this one is for the Dueling Dealers, and it's got Mike on one side and Anthony on the other. There's Anthony Snyder on that one. It's not focusing very well on it. And Mike Berkey on that side. And I know that both those guys got some of these. So you can imagine that these will be, well, we're all going to keep a few for ourselves, but they will make their way out into the wild to fans like yourselves, Jeff. What do you mean? Oh, you suck because you didn't write it. Hey, Jeff, I mean, you have a reasonable excuse for why I didn't get a letter. I think you wrote a letter in the other thing that the last package I got. So don't feel bad. You don't suck at all. You are a true fan. And remember, Jeff and I are going to be working on those CAFU videos as soon as Comic Art Live is over. Things just got really, 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 really hectic for me and for Jeff. And we're going to get back to that ASAP. So yeah, the chips. Exactly. Yeah, we don't need to talk about chips. But I actually have a meeting on Saturday to see if I can't finally sell the mini golf. So that'll be a big day for me. I'll let everybody know how that goes next Thursday when we do the next CAF update. But I think we're on the right path there to getting the mini golf put into my past. So again, Jeff, thank you so much. Again, I can't thank you enough that you sent these things to me and you made them up. It's fun. That's why we're doing all these other things with the cards, with the variant cover, and then a few other things we have planned for the future. I'm gonna go on a buying spree. Yeah, you never know, Wes. Yes, the mini golf. That should be that flag is slowly sinking into the hole, I believe. Well, I'll tell you, with chips though, I do have some stuff I wanted to film there. I think anybody who watched the Dueling Dealers episode where I had that the two mini golf putters and Thor versus Loki, I do have like a kind of a set of skits that I wanted to film for that. So even if I do complete the deal soon, we've got to get out there and film before it's no longer mine. They might not let me do that if it's not mine. So yes. We'll get that worked out. Hey, Jason, it's good to see you. You missed all the interesting news. You're going to have to watch the beginning on the rewind. But the important thing that you missed was I'm going to be on a variant cover as part of Comic Art Live, produced by Nick Barucci, and it's very cool. So you'll be able to see that if you go watch it on the rewind. So let's see. What else is there? Lots of stuff. But somebody asked who Colin was. So anybody who doesn't know Colin Solon, he is the editor for CAF, and he does write the daily email, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday write-ups, and he posts all the news. And he is a better news hound than I am. He's subscribed to more dealer lists than I am, and a few other, he follows social media a lot better than I do. So he picks up stuff that isn't even sent to us as PR and gets it into our daily news. That's why usually every day there's between 10 and 15 news articles always shared, because he's combing the internet for different stuff, or he's on enough lists that he gets more things in his inbox than I do. So there you have it. But let's see. So I can cross off a big section of my to-do list tonight. Why don't we talk about Dueling Dealers really quick, just as far as our upcoming schedule, because there were a few things in there that have come to light that I wanted to talk about. And so this is the upcoming schedule. As Nick mentioned, we're going to do a different show next Wednesday, but familiar. It's going to be a 12-rounder between Mike and Anthony, and the first 6 rounds will be $1,000 or less, and the second 6 rounds will be $2,000 or less. 2 pieces of art per round, but we're going to limit the guys to 60 seconds per round for the first time, just to see if we can't speed things along a little bit. I know that at the end of the day, I don't like 2-hour shows. I know that the commitment that everyone has to make to being there for the full 2 hours, let alone the first hour and 10 to get through all 15 rounds, is an awful lot. So we're gonna do an experiment with that show on Wednesday and limit them to 2 pieces per round, 60 seconds per round, and then hopefully it makes hopefully we sell stuff early, and hopefully it makes the recap not take until 11 p.m. Eastern. Then just a couple other things after that. We've got Comic Art Live the weekend after next, as everybody knows. Then Heritage has their signature auction the following week on Thursday. And so rather than have our show on Wednesday, we're going to switch it to Monday and do a $1,000 and under show on 11/15. I've also then got on that Saturday, I've got Next Comic Art having a art sale, and I believe they've got a few special announcements for that as well that I can't talk about right at the moment. Then the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to do a Monday show again rather than doing Wednesday, since a lot of people are traveling. That'll be $1,000 and under show as well. Then on the 4th of December, that's a Saturday, I'm going to have Neil Adams on at 1 p.m. Eastern for a special live art drop with him and sale. Should be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to it. Neil and I have only talked on the phone in the past, so this will be very interesting to have he and I on screen together. And I'm sure the interview part should be interesting too. I've got a few ideas of things I want to talk to him about, and I'm sure if anybody has suggestions, they could let me know what they might like Neil to answer. Hey, if you tune in, you'll be able to ask him questions in the chat too. And then the Saturday after that, hopefully Greg Hildebrandt, he had to cancel once before, but hopefully we'll have him on for that show. And then the special announcement is that on Wednesday, December 15th at 9 p.m., the Dueling Dealers is going to have our first tag team. I wrote Royal Rumble. I don't know what we're going to call it. At the end of the day, it's Dino and Jordan versus Mike and Anthony. And it's going to be, I can't really give you any details. The pricing levels are going to be a little different than we're used to having, but it's going to be a show not to miss. I can tell you that. We've only just started fleshing out some of the ideas, and we've got the pricing structures worked out. And all I can tell you is it's going to be a really, really good time. It's a way to kind of get us ready for the holidays, I think, would be a show like that. And I hope everybody tunes into it, because it will be a very special show, and the first time that we tried to have multiple combatants on either side. So it should be interesting. The format's going to be the trickiest part, trying to make sure that we show everything quite right and get the artwork on screen properly and switch people in and out as we need to. But I think both Dino and Jordan have things worked out really well on their end, because they're going to be together. I believe they are going to be in Hawaii again, so that'll make it very easy for them. And then I'll have some issues and things to flip and flop around as well. Hildebrandt canceled something. Yes, yeah, he did. I had him scheduled back in, when was it? October, and it didn't work out. But let me see here. A couple things I'm trying to go through. Neil doesn't even do his own show. No, well, Neil's always on there. But hey, Nick, thank you so much. Huge super chat there from Nick. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, Bill, and thanks for the fans for hanging out. This is for Colin on his birthday. So I guess I'm going to be putting a little extra in Colin's November paycheck. So I will take care of that for him for sure. Happy belated birthday to Colin, and everyone, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Nick. Have a great evening, Nick. I sincerely appreciate it, as will Colin, when I send him his payroll for that month. And so we're Dueling Dealers is going to have a lot of fun stuff coming up. And we're how far away are we? We're only 9 months into it. I keep thinking we're closer to our first anniversary than we really are, but we've got the first show was on January 27th. So yeah, 3 more months to go. But one milestone that was hit last night that I didn't realize until we were done with the show and I was in the green room and plugging all the data into my spreadsheet was that Anthony crossed the $600,000 mark in sales. So that's a really good thing. I mean, he's worked really hard for that to get to that point, and I'm proud of him. So we'll all give him a high five. And he ends up being the top dealer in sales in our report for this week too, which he's done a few times since New York Comic Con. So good things are happening for Anthony, I'd say. Let's see. Okay. Yes, I see that. Yeah. Well, Neil wasn't doing well. Marcus I know he had an issue health-wise for a while. That's why we actually put it off. We were going to do something earlier, and we kind of had to wait till we get to this point to where he was feeling better enough to be able to be on screen with me on that. So we'll see. And let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry, reading through those things. Outside of that, as I did mention, we will be doing our next show that will be for charity. Will be on our 50th show. We did the 25th show with Felix for his charity. Anthony got his pick for this one, and it will be most likely the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation or a similar charity that supports cystic fibrosis. So he's listed a couple other. I think there's a Boomer Esiason charity out there as well. So Anthony is the one who gets to pick which one. His family's had a history of that, so it's really near and dear to him. And I'm looking forward to doing that show. I guess that's about 7 shows away, so I guess that'll put us close to the holidays, I guess. I'm not sure, who knows what we're going to do around Christmas and New Year's. So that might be something right around the first of the year. But I can tell you that I might as well. I did write it down here. The pricing structures on that Dino Jordan, Mike Anthony show. It's going to be a 12 rounder with 2 pieces of art per round, and rounds 1 through 5 are going to be $1,000 or less. 6 through 10 will be $3,000 or less, and anything will go in rounds 11 and 12. So 24 pieces of art per team, and the artwork should probably be pretty spectacular. So keep that in mind. And hopefully we don't like rob the Christmas account for you. Get your Christmas shopping out of the way before that show, because I'm sure it's going to be great. Let's see. Yes, bringing the heat, Mikhail. Yes, that show is going to be very, very interesting, without question. Mel, thank you, Mel. See, Mel fills in for Nick when Nick's not available. Thank you very much, Mel. I appreciate that. And yep, Chris, it will be absolutely incredible. I know, Samuel. It's good. I'm happy that I host these things and I'm not out in the audience with you guys having to buy stuff. But it will be interesting. Definitely. Royal Rumble with chairs thrown around. Yeah. We're going to come up with something fun, meme-wise too. We've got a month to plan it out, and I know that Jordan and Dino are going to be doing some fun stuff as well. So look forward to that. We've got so lots of good stuff coming up for that, and I'm going to do the CAF update now, because I do have a few other things to go through. And I think the CAF update is what everybody would like to see right now. If I was you, that's where I'd want to be. So let me get everything queued up here. This was for the week of October 25th through the 31st, so through Halloween. And it was a pretty decent week, actually, for both dealers and the auction houses. Dealers average, they had just over 250,000 in sales, and auction houses had 429. Although we're going to see that the highest priced eBay item, I know, is not accurate, because it was a make offer, and there's no way for me to know exactly what the final sale price on that one item was, but I know it was not $50,000. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But so we're going to start off with the dealer sales for the week, and like I said, just over 250,000, 253, 238 to be exact. Anthony, top seller, 126 sales, and he had just over $58,000 in sales. And then next up was Felix, 46 sales, just under 53,000. Bermuda Man was next, just over 50. Then we've got TD Art Gallery around 25, Albert around 23, Splash Page around 18, Scott Eater around 15, and then after that, several other people under the $10,000 mark. But a solid week, solid average week, right? 250,000. We like to wrestling mask Arma. Mike Berkey said that immediately, so you can expect him to have something peculiar on, I'm sure, during that episode. I will say no more about that. But here, let's take a look at the top 6 dealer items from last week. Now, here's the total again: 253, 238. This first item was an 80-page lot, actually, sold by Felix for $25,900, and it was all for the M&N work from Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Fantastic Four. Curious, could have been a group buy, I guess. So we've heard about that in the past. Next up is a cover to Dark Ages issue number 5, and of course this is by Ryan Stegman. This one sold for $20,000. That was the first Miles Morales Venom appearance. Next up, this one was sold by Albert Moy from the X-Men portfolio by John Byrne, of course, was sold with the asking price of $8,000. And then next up is a contribution from Splash Page Comic Art, Charlie Adlard, Walking Dead, issue 159 DPS, pages 10 and 11. This one sold for $4,750. And the final 2 pieces, this one was sold by Mike Berkey, P. Craig Russell, and Tom Sutton. This is from Doctor Strange, issue 34, page 19. As he says, the best battle page in the book, exclamation point. So next up, and the final piece in our list here, is from TD Art Gallery, from Tatiana. This was sold for $4,000. It's from Wildcats, issue 50, page 1 splash by Travis Terrest. Fantastic piece there. Yeah, Mike puts a lot of caps in his titles. Best battle page in book, exclamation point, Doctor Strange battles Sirius Black. So, or Cyrus Black, I guess that would be. I'm mixing up my genres there. I'm sorry. All right, so there you have it. But let's get to the auction anonymous. The now, I haven't been drinking or anything. Everybody, I think I probably need a sip of water here. But eBay had this peculiar listing on there, and I tried to get some backstory on it, and I wasn't able to track it down. I know the seller. I didn't want to ask them because a little peculiar. But there was the top selling item was a John Romita Senior Doctor Strange cover prelim, and it's listed as sold at, or it was, the asking price was $50,000 on it. Of course, it's got a strike through because it has best offer accepted. And unfortunately, and I'm on the inside with eBay with a lot of stuff. They actually changed all their a lot of their API calls and things that people can get. So people actually can no longer find out what a best offer price is. I know people have sent me links in the past, and it did used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. So a person can never mine the data on eBay to get a best offer value. But my guess is that I can't imagine the thing sold for more than 5, but it's listed as 50,000. So it skewed our numbers a little bit. I didn't even get a chance to see it because Colin wrote it. I didn't have a chance to read it until yesterday. Of course, I asked Mike, "Hey, do you know anything about it?" And he didn't get it. He didn't know who picked it up or what the final sales price was. But it does skew the numbers. But it was still a solid week for auction houses because, in part, because of the Inktober charity auction that Heritage did last week. So they had their Wednesday auction and the Inktober auction. I'm not going to show any pieces from the Inktober auction, but they did have sales that totaled just over $77,000 for the charity. So fantastic job for Heritage once again on that. And again, I'm not showing any pieces from that, but the top selling item from there was a Wendy Pini cutter sketch that sold for $15,600. And the next up was a Walt Simonson Beta Ray Bill piece that I actually thought about bidding on, but I knew I didn't have over $9,000 to spend on it, which is what it sold for. And the third highest selling piece was an Adam Hughes illustration as well. And yeah, 9K for the Simonson. I was thinking it was going to go for 10, and I thought about it, and I just knew I couldn't be a player for that. One day I will own one of those Walt Simonson pieces that he's done most often for charity, and but I better do it soon, right? Or I'm never gonna be able to afford one. But it's a beautiful piece, and I'm happy that Heritage took care of that, like they have done. So that's what skewed the number. So the total number was 429,000, and which is over the 280 from the week before. So I can already say that 45 should be taken out of that because there's just no way that this first piece from eBay sold for $50,000. So why don't I go for the Winterman piece on Twitter now? I don't even know what you're talking about, Mikhail. You should text me. Shoot me a text. Yeah, after the golf course sale, I can do it. You're right, but you know what? That money is probably earmarked for either the kids' college fund or probably, if we ever get that house down in Florida, I'm going to have to use most of it for that. Unfortunately, with the housing market as it is today down in Florida, it's been pretty crazy. But I agree, the Wendy Pini was a very impressive sale. A great piece, though. Very true. So, all right, let's take a look at the auction results. And again, I'm only going to show you the 3 from eBay and then 3 from Heritage, the top 3 from each. And let's get them on here right now. So you can see the Doctor Strange piece in the background right there. That is the one that is list. I only get the original price. I never get the what was it actually sold for. So it's listed in their archives as $50,000. There's no way it's sold. It's John Romita Sr. Doctor Strange issue 32 cover prelim. Next up from eBay is this Michael Turner Fathom number 12 DPS actually. This one sold for $4,300. And the third highest sale for eBay during this period was artwork by J. Scott Campbell. Amazing Spider-Man number 2 variant cover. Nice cap image there. Signed by Stan Lee, of course. Sold for $4,000. And now the top 3 Heritage sales. Heritage had $150,000 in sales in their weekly auction. This first one is Jack Kirby, Frank Giacoya, 2001: A Space Odyssey, number 1 issue, and it's page 49, sold for $7,800. And next up is a awesome Jack Kirby Black Panther illustration, sold for $7,200. And finally is a very nice Tarzan illustration. This one sold for $5,040, and it's by the great Hal Foster. Tarzan and a chimp. we kind of got the slow glide on that one. I'll talk with Ashton. Could have done something a little different there. He could have made a gorilla run across the screen for us, right? But all right, so there you have it. So I can't do a whole lot of research on that one, but clearly it skewed the numbers, and I don't really know what the most appropriate thing for me to do would be just to kick it out of the auction data probably altogether. But yeah, Stan was so prolific. Poor guy. I mean, it's a wonder he was. When we did the show with him at Big Wow, I mean, he what year was that? That was, gosh, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. And I got to be his handler, go run and get him orange crushes and everything. And it was a lot of fun, but he worked his tail off. I mean, he was nonstop. And, I can't commend him for the effort, but he really, it's amazing because, you just have to picture, you would have, I think we probably had 500 people or so sign up for like VIP signings where you could get 2 pieces signed by him. And it was just nonstop signing all day long. It was a grind, and then move him into the other room to do photos and stuff. So he was a trooper. But it's amazing that things aren't signed in more inappropriate places just because things would move in so quickly. The only things that you could guarantee that he would sign right were the comics where they had cut out the spot for him to sign, which there was obviously a whole lot of that. But when art was passed in front of him, it was always, because people couldn't get that close to him. You weren't allowed to take selfies when you were in the line because they wanted you to buy the photo op. So in most cases, you were a couple feet away from him. So the art's already out of your hand and they're just sliding it right over to him. And yeah, you were lucky, he didn't sign it in the middle of Cap Shield, like over there. So yep, there you go. Don't sign on Daredevil's package. No. And he was a class act till the end, Carlos, without question. And he definitely, I did read that. Gosh, I don't have it here. That book by Danny Fingeroth. Where is that? Oh gosh, it was laying around here recently, but I did finish. I read it on the Vegas trip. Really good read. I'm sure most of that stuff is common knowledge, but it was really interesting just to kind of hear about some of his thoughts on the early days, and written by somebody who was around him a lot in the Marvel offices, and it was a good read. So if you haven't seen it, it was a Marvelous Life about Stan Lee, and written by Danny Fingeroth, and who has offered to come on the show at some point. So somebody who I will try to get on the show in 2022. That would be a lot of fun. Let's see. Got that. I'm just crossing things off here. I teased, let's see, it was last week. I wasn't able to do the Baltimore Comic Con videos and images that Matt Todd had sent. So I hope that you don't mind, but I kind of put that together as a montage. He actually sent me the majority of his photographs in that iPhone format, that HEIC format, which actually just doesn't really. I had to convert a lot of those files to JPEG, so I don't have all the images that he took, but got a little bit of video clips and some photos from the show. So for those of you who didn't go to Baltimore, it's a so I'm just reading through. Ryan, yeah, you got to pick with Stan. At the controversial final. Oh yeah, that's too bad. I mean, they worked him hard. I mean, when he was at our show, when he was, his energy was totally up. I mean, and it's still, he was in better health then. But when he had a break, he would take a nap. I mean, if he had 30 minutes in between doing a signing and then moving him into the room where we would do the photos, I mean, I remember him taking a nap for 30 minutes. He was just like, I'll be over here. Just let me know when I need to freshen up. And so it's hard. I mean, heck, can you imagine running around in your mid 80s, just jet setting all the time, every single weekend? And then, I mean, it's amazing that, he didn't get carpal tunnel doing all the signings and things that he had to do, because they were working him during the week when he wasn't at the shows. He was signing stuff for various companies and things all during that time period. So it was tough on him. And that Iron Man exhibit in Vegas was cool. Yes, that is totally true. But here, let me show you the Baltimore video clip and photos from there. Hopefully, I've done it a little bit of justice. I didn't have a ton of time to work on it because the show for Dueling Dealers took up a lot of my time, but I tried to do my best, and hopefully I did. So here you go. This is some video footage and photos from Baltimore Comic Con 2 weekends ago.
Morning.
there you have it. Hopefully I did Matt justice on that one. So thank you very much, Matt Todd, for sending me all that. And again, I've actually never been to the Baltimore show. So it looks like a great show. I have to believe that because he was a VIP, because he went through the VIP line, that he must have got in early, because that looks like the beginning of the show. So you saw Micah was there, and we saw Hakes. I don't think he did. Oh, well, I think it was a photo. I don't know if I was able to show it. I know he had a couple pics from Anthony's booth, but I wasn't able to. Those were in the HIC or EIC format, so I was not able to put that together. But yes, thank you, Matt and Mikhail and Scott. Everybody thanks you. There we go. And David and Mel. So thank you very much. And the thing is, everybody just should always remember that if you go to a show or a gallery opening or anything like that, please take some video, take some photos, send them my way. I'm happy to put them together into spots so we can show it here for everybody, so we can all enjoy in the experience. That's an important part of these things while we still get back to normal, that we can share these events. And yep. Sorry, just watching through. I'm imagining the others. Yeah, that would CAF Con with a VR headset would be interesting, wouldn't it? But it was nice. Yeah, I saw Don Rosa. Exactly. I mean, he wouldn't. That was unexpected. I didn't think that Don would be out at that particular show, but nice to see him. And Aranga, you were mentioning that Matt and I were in line together on day one, first time meeting. Good dude. Very, very true. Very, very true. All right. So speaking of cons, we can get back over to Comic Art Live. And as everybody knows, it is the weekend after next. Now, the big thing there, of course, is premium members get the 2-hour early access. So the show will open at 11 a.m. for premium members and 1 p.m. on November 13th for everybody who isn't a premium member. So, it's always good to get that early jump on certain things. I know a few dealers or reps are setting up commission lists, so there will be those opportunities as well. And if you've checked out the booth preview over on CAF, you can see who's already setting up. And I know that it says Maureen Developer is setting up. Mikhail, I'm sorry, she's not going to be exhibiting any artwork during the show. We'll make sure that her booth is closed by the time the show actually happens. But I don't know. I think the last time I looked, we were closing in on 700 artworks that will be available. And I can only hazard to guess that it will probably be over 3,000. I mean, the last show was 4,400. So you never know. I can always cross my fingers and hope that we have the same kind of turnout. But I feel like now that cons are happening, we're not going to see that same kind of level of intensity. But, we'll see. For those of you who do exhibit, obviously you can sell up to 48 artworks during the show. 24 pieces can be dropped on Saturday, and 24 pieces can be dropped on Sunday. And the art drop, of course, is 11 a.m. on both days. So, but on Saturday, of course, it's exclusive to premium members. 11 a.m. It's up for grabs for everybody, and because the show doesn't close. So that is the advantage for premium members, is only on Saturday from 11 until 1 p.m. Gosh, Wes, I know I said I was going to do it. I apologize. I wasn't prepared to do them, and I'm terrible. I hate to say it. I mean, I could try to set one up really quick. Should I? I'll do it. You'll have to. I'm going to keep talking while I set it up, though, because you're absolutely right. I did say I was going to do I wanted to do a couple. That whole video editing stuff really got me. I did not. I just thought I'd have more time, but I did not. But I will. I'm gonna take care of that. I know everything. Just give me a minute, guys. I will put this together. And we should probably. How about we do it as a t-shirt? T-shirt this time around. Is that okay? I mean, I know I wanted to do a full set of the trading cards, but I know that Anthony has mailed out several of the sets already to the list that we had kind of pulled together. And sorry, I'm trying to do this. I hate to be working on something and looking at a different screen while I'm doing it, guys. But let's see here. I want to try to clone this darn thing. It doesn't. I thought it would have an easy clone option. Let's see. No, of course not. It's not going to give me an easy option to make it, to duplicate the last one that I did. Okay, well, I can just create a new one. And wow, I can announce it in the chat. So I guess when it's really live, you'll see a post for it. But here we go. I'm not adding any special rules for anybody. This is only for people who are watching us on YouTube, turning off all the other possibilities. and it's open to everyone. Yep, everything is in there, and we hit create, and so I think it's actually created. I'm not watching the chat to see if it gets anything mentioned in there yet, but I can turn on the little message there. So keep an eye on it. I mean, it says it's active, but I mean, you remember the one time we had it active and it took a few minutes for it to actually start working. It is definitely, it's definitely running. Type. I'm just not seeing anybody show up yet. So as everybody knows, it did take a few minutes the last time. But while we're waiting for the darn thing to get started, and I will give you some updates on Comic Art Live for that weekend. So like I mentioned it earlier, panels are almost completely set up. A couple interesting ones to note will be that the panels are going to start at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And first up will be Alex Saviuk. And then at 2 o'clock, he'll be interviewed by John Suntress from wordballoon.com. John's been a big help for me during these shows, and he'll be helping again primarily on Saturday. At 3 p.m., I've got IDW Scott Doonbeer will be chatting with J. Scott Campbell. So that should be very interesting as well. We kind of lined that up just recently. And then I know that at 4 o'clock, we will have Michael Bendis and David Marquez on talking with John Suntress as well. So that should be a really interesting show. And I don't have the times ironed out yet, but we also have Jamal Eigel, Mike Norton, and Ryan Dunleavy are also going to be having panels on Saturday. We just haven't finalized the times. I've got a meeting actually right after the show at 11 p.m. to talk with John and Chad, who helped me with the panels. And I think we're going to have more of those times ironed out. On Sunday, the panels start at noon. And Anthony will start us off like he always does at noon. He'll have a 1-hour show. He hasn't told me everything he wants to do, but he might try to do a little bit of a claim sale during his 12 thing, just because everybody's seen his warehouse and everything a few times, and he always does something fun, right, to kind of get the show started for us on Sunday. So we'll see what he's going to do there. At 1 p.m., it will be definitely Paulo Rivera, but we might have his dad, Joe Rivera, on with him as well. Mark Hay and Mark Walters will be moderating that, and I know that Paulo is creating some more artwork for sale to claim during that as well. So I think that that is there's still not anything showing up on this darn T-shirt giveaway. It is active. It tells me it's active. Why are you not working? It did this that one time too. Let's see. Nope, it thinks it's running, but I know I'm not seeing a single entry coming into this darn thing. But let me just finish that. I can't tell you yet. I shouldn't tell you yet. But all I can tell you is Felix is bringing not one, not two, but 3 special guests. And it's probably going to run from start times 2, 3, and 4 on Sunday. And they are very, very big names. And I don't want to. I'll wait till maybe sometime next week. I'll announce it, just because I want final confirmation from Felix that he's really pulled this together to make it happen. So we'll see. But then I also have Joe Weems and Marco Galli will be appearing, thanks to Tatiana. And then we might have a few others as well. So there's and I believe that if right now I haven't talked to Tatiana, but I'd kind of penciled them in for 5 p.m. on Sunday. And yeah, I see it's still not. Battissimo is failing me tonight. I'm not sure why, because it should be working. Just keep plugging away. See, I'm just trying to kickstart it to see if it'll do something for me. It's not doing anything, although it says it's running. I apologize, everybody. I should have started this at the beginning, and maybe I remember that one time it took 20 minutes before it actually worked. Well, if it doesn't work, then I owe everybody 2 or 3 giveaways next Thursday. And I promise to be more well-rested for that. I can't tell you, Nick, if it's Nick Patera or not. And I can't tell you if it's Stegman or not. Scott, I'm sorry. But again, big names, very big names, as only Felix can do. And, Felix has always been a huge supporter of every single thing I've ever done. And he came to me with this concept, and I'm going to see. I'm going to let him run with it. Yeah, he even wants to do all the interviews himself. I told him, you want somebody to fill in for you, and he said no. So he's gonna run them all on his own. And I'm sorry, there's still nothing showing up here. Whenever it does work, I've got this little tab, and it would be filling up with names, and it's not filling up with any names. So I apologize. If it doesn't work, we will fix this, and I will definitely give away multiple items next Thursday. And I'm glad you reminded me, West. I'm kicking myself now for forgetting about that. But yeah, so there you go. Again, we're so close to the show. If anybody has any questions about Comic Art Live, you know how to reach out to me through CAF. Please do. That way, I want everybody to have a good show. And if they've got problems setting up their exhibitor booths, please let me know. And yeah, I'm taking a page from Felix's book here. How is that, Aranga? Yeah, James Siegel, Todd McFarlane. Well, so speaking of James, that kind of brings me to one of my final topics of the evening is the Sunday show. And I should have probably had James on here, but he and I will be talking this Sunday when we do the collector chat, the 20th collector chat. It's going to be very special, and maybe a little somber at the same time, because I'm not going to say it's our last Sunday chat, but it will be our last for a while. Namely, yeah, as both James and I, it's tough. It's tough having to pull together shows on a regular basis, and for me, just adding that consistent show was just a little more than even I was expecting. It makes you think it's easy to just sit down and chat, and even I don't have to bring a topic, so it's fairly easy. But just carving out that extra day of the week, especially on a weekend, has been somewhat challenging. I usually miss like family game night around the house because of those, and and it's I'm just what I'm thinking of. Early on in the channel, or I can't say early on. We were figuring our way through everything, and then about the 6 months into doing Comic Art Live, I was all about, I just want to have as many shows as I possibly can, and how many things can we do, and that was even before we thought about the collector chats on Sunday, and so I was always focused on quantity and quality too at the same time, but quantity was my goal. And then it was great when James and I talked about doing the collector show and having it be about all of you, and having you be really the stars of every show. It made a lot of sense, and it continues to make a lot of sense too. That's why I'm saying it's not the end of the collector chats, but we're putting it on pause for a while, and I'm sure it'll come back. I'll tell you, just like any good hero, whenever there's a need, we'll be able to spin that show up, and I'm sure we've got plenty of folks that would want to be a part of any event that we might have in the future. I just think that for us, it was just we've done a fair amount of good. And yes, rest in peace, collector show. Again, it's not dead. It's not dead, and there's still nothing showing up in this darn thing, this Battissimo thing. Let's see. So I'm just trying to see if I'm doing something wrong. Like, do I actually have to read the FAQ on how to do it? Yes, spin it off, Fish. That's a good idea. Controversial collectors chats. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to miss them, and football season. I don't watch a lot of football, so it's, that's not really it. It's just more the time at the end of the day, and just having that extra show. And I really want to focus on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. As you notice, I skipped Tuesday this week, and I'm going to skip it next week too, because just so many things going on leading up to the Dueling Dealers show. Plus, I want to make sure Comic Art Live is taken care of, so I need to take these 2 Tuesdays off. Those shows are not going away. I just didn't have the opportunity to, and I didn't want to carve out that extra time with the show coming up. I want to devote all my time to that. So that is right. Yes, the rule of 72 and the thigh gap. We owe a lot to that show. Very, 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 very special things for that. And I'm still trying to read through the FAQ here to figure out why this thing, it's still not starting. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm just going to look at today. I really edited it right. I'm just looking at the data. Yep, it's really set up for everyone. And sorry, I'm just reading through just to make. I'm just like resaving it. Could that have fixed it? Probably not. But no, I know I see some of you still trying. It's still not doing anything. I feel like I should be like Anthony and shake the machine. Yeah, is this thing on? Is this chat working? So, well, I apologize again. Okay, 3 giveaways on Thursday. I promise. I don't know why this thing isn't working, but I will get it resolved for next week. Sorry, guys and gals. But yeah, so that's the deal on the collector show. It's time has not passed. I think that we've got plenty of things to talk about, but it's just going to have to be tabled for a little while, and we'll come back to it at some time. And I commend every single one of you that took even if you're only on one show. It's a very fun thing, and it's a very exclusive fraternity of collectors after all. And we've had a lot of time and fun in a group chat that we put together, and I can guarantee you it'll come back in one way, shape, or form again in the future. So as James says, James has been running with this. I've not really had to do a whole lot. He's just let me know what he was going to do, and but like he said, logistical nightmare show this Sunday. Tune in for the train wreck. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little long because there's going to be a few different topics from many past contributors. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah, turn this giveaway back on. I'm sorry, miss. Yeah, that's the way I feel. Yeah, I resaved it twice, and just modifying some subtle settings on it just to see if it can do, if it can like kickstart it, but it's certainly not. Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely not one thing that I can do differently. Only allow channel subscribers. See, I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's all set up just like the last t-shirt giveaway I did. I don't get it. I keep saving it. Anyway, I'm not gonna beat this thing anymore. We're gonna work this out and have everything rocking and rolling for next week. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't even know James had an OnlyFans site. Wow. All right, let's see. So that's it. So we'll talk more about that on Sunday. I'm sure James and I will start the show off and thank everybody and talk a little bit about things before we get the show underway. But it'll be good. And 20 is a good number to take a pause on. So let's see. I want to try to look through. Blah, blah. Nope. All right. So I would say that's about it. I've got that 11 o'clock meeting. So 20 minutes before I have my panel talk with John Suntress and my pal Chad. So sorry about the giveaway this evening, but we will work that out for next week. So hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. I hope here I'll show that sketch cover again. I don't know if Jason's still here, but I shouldn't call it a sketch cover. It's a variant cover. I don't know. I have no idea who's going to end up coloring it. That should prove interesting. But there you go. Look at that. Me with Vampirella. Should be good. I know I'm going to keep a few copies. I might even send them to CGC and see what they do. That'll be interesting. And then Ken put these together pretty quickly. Nick sent me the pencils one day and the inks the next day. So we didn't have. He just pulled it all together really quick. We talked a little bit before I went to Vegas, and he just put it all together, made it happen. So we'll have that Indiegogo campaign on what is that? It'll be the 16th is when it'll start, and someone out there will be lucky enough to get that cover too. So I'll be envious of that. Maybe one day it will be on the market and I'll be able to buy it back for myself. But in the meantime, some lucky collector will get to add that to their collection, and it better appear on CAF. That's all I have to say. It definitely better appear on CAF when all is said and done. So all right. So again, tune in on Sunday 9 p.m. for the collector chat. That no CAF highlights. Oh my gosh. See, thank you. See, where is my head, guys? I get sidetracked on stuff. Thank you, Caesar. Maybe while I'm chatting about the popular items as I end the show, we'll actually have a giveaway that works. So yeah, Mo picks this week. Here we go. I'm gonna do the. I'm sorry, guys. That was right on the list too, and I didn't scratch it off, so I can only fault myself. And Ashton put the work in on that. The bigger of the 3 video clips. So let me. Oh, there you go. So James is teasing the first panel. Ruben, Duke, Jason, and Fish should be a good one. There'll be thigh gaps and all those other things being spoken about, I'm sure, in that first group of topics. So, all right, let's get that final CAF update section out of the way. My popular artwork picks. So I have to tell you guys this too. It's my fault that I didn't reach out to Khalil or Chris this week as well because I was too busy. So I don't have the guest picks this week, but I will do my darndest to make sure that we have them beginning next week because it's important, and I really enjoy having someone else do 10 picks for the week. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I didn't even get to do my picks until this morning, so I was very, very, very behind. So here are my 25 picks for the week. First up, Marcus, you get honors to be first. This is John Buscema, Tom Palmer, Marvel Age number 45 cover. Absolute beauty. Got a ton of comments and likes last week, deservedly so. Next up, my man Khalil right here, artist Paulo Rivera. This is from Mythos Ghost Rider number 1, page 21 splash, when Paulo was doing some wonderful painting. And next up, James. You got an Ian Churchill, Bud LaRosa piece, Deadpool number 3 limited series cover from 1994. I love me some Ian Churchill. And Daryl R. branching out with a nice Silvestri Wolverine piece. And it's a doozy. I don't own anything by Mark, and I am envious of this piece. And Jamo's art is the owner of this great Art Adams king size Red Hulk number 1 piece. Very, very awesome. Congratulations, Jamo, on that one. I hope to have him on an interview show sometime soon. Then Eric De Los Santos. This is by Art Adams, and it's Axwell Tiberius. And it's a beauty. He is a huge Art Adams collector, as we all know. Then Paul P. picked up this great J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man cover. Volume 3, number 1.1 is what it said, from 2014. And then Mikhail, Silver Surfer Black number 3, page 16 by Trad Moore. That is a beauty. And Duke Fleed. Hey, this is not on purpose either. I mean, I picked the art, not the collector. But Duke Fleed, Bob Oxner, of course. This is Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. The cover to issue 122 from 1972. And then Vic V. This is in their collection. It's by Ernie Chan. This is the cover to Joker number 6. I love this cover. That is so darn cool. I think that could be a meme in the future. And then this is in the collection of T-Shen. Chris Stevens, of course, unmistakable style. This is the Joe Fixit Hulk version, and it's a doozy. Next up is another piece by in Jamo's collection, Angel Medina. This is the cover to Ultimate Spider-Man issue 100. Lots of Spideys in that one. And Jason Husa is the proud owner of this Chris Bacallo, Tim Townsend page from Doctor Strange, number 13 from 2015. And then let's see, we've got this is Jeff Shaw, collection of Rob R. This is the cover to Thanos, number 14, Cosmic Ghost Rider first appearance, I might add. And Clayton Crane, another unmistakable style. This is in the collection of Anthony C. Venom and Carnage, of course. And I don't think I've ever featured anything by Carl Barks before, but here I go. This is Scrooge McDuck. It's an oil painting called Menace Out of Myths from 1973. And, of course, my favorite title out there for all time, Uncanny X-Men. This is from issue 223. Kerry Gamble penciling and Dan Green inking, and it's in the collection of Sylvain R. Next up, Mikhail. Yep, you got another one in here, my friend. This is Todd McFarlane, and it's from Detective Comics, number 578, page 2. And next up, Andy Wurst's collection. This is Declan Shalvey. This is from Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, issue number 1, page 8. That one is awesome. And I featured a piece by Brian last week, and I'm doing it again here. This is in the collection of Jeffrey Dunn, Brian Selfreeze, of course. And it's a beautiful image of She-Hulk. A few more here. And this is in Steve Creazier's collection. Keith Pollard pencils, along with Avril Jones, and then inks by Frank Giacoya and Mike Esposito. This is the Avengers 71 Marvel UK edition cover from 1975. And Tyler T's collection here. This is Tyrell Cannon artwork. It's the Symbiote Spider-Man, and I like that one a lot. We got 3 more here to go. This is in the collection of Nick Barucci, of course, Keith Pollard pencils. Al Williamson is the inker on this Marvel Saga cover, number 16. And another unmistakable artist, Mark Brooks, painted cover to Black Widow number 10. This is in the collection of Charles Dahan. And finally, in the collection of Mark Levy, our regular chatter, as a piece by Barry Windsor Smith and Bill Everett. This is from Astonishing Tales, issue 6. It is the end page, and that one was a doozy as well. So thank you, Caesar, for reminding me that I skipped the most popular part of the show, which was going over the popular art for the week. It's the whole point of this darn show. And yeah, Stelfreeze, absolutely. I love his work. And again, another artist that I've never owned anything by. That's just, it's absolutely criminal. And yeah, sorry I miss all it. You know, when I'm doing that bit, I can't watch any of the chat going by, but I know that everybody liked a lot of it. Yeah, Marcus, there was a little bondage on that one cover, right? When I saw it, I was like, should I, shouldn't I? But it's Lois Lane, right? You gotta. That was those. You know, you don't see those too often. Especially, you know, there's actually a fair amount of Lois Lane comic artwork on CAF. It's just you don't see too many coming up, you know, anymore. So it's nice to be able to feature that one. I had to do it. So yeah, everybody says Stelfreeze rocks. I got it. I'm gonna have to correct that. You saw a couple pictures of him from Matt's Baltimore compilation. So okay, a little. All right, Marcus, I'm stand corrected. All right, you got me, man. It's all about. Well, you know. All right, I'm going to keep that in mind when I'm picking artwork from now on. It was code approved, as Michael says. Thank you, Michael. In my corner on that one. Michael, I appreciate it. So anyway, so again, thank you for the reminder there. That would have been terrible had I forgotten that. My son would have killed me if I hadn't shown it all. But I appreciate it. And again, I'll see everybody on Sunday. And I hope you tune into that collector show. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be very interesting, and it may be a train wreck, just like James says. You never know, but it will be a good show, and you know, and there will be more in the future. I promise. I mean, right as I was telling Nick in the green room, I want my focus for at least for the next, yeah, let's just say the next quarter to 6 months. I want to focus on quality. I want to make sure that the things that we do here are top notch, and the whole CAFU concept really. I really, really want to devote some time to that. I think it's going to be an important thing for the hobby going forward. You know, a good way to introduce new people to CAF and to answer questions for the hobby. Answer a lot of the common questions I get. I can just point people to a YouTube video and say, watch this. You don't understand what blue lines are. You know, watch this video over here. So it's important. And the only way I'm going to be able to do a really good job on it is to put the time and effort into it. And so just having myself in so many different shows just isn't going to work if I'm going to be able to do a good job on that. And like I told you before, I'm having such a fun time on Dueling Dealers. I want that show to continue to be fun and entertaining, and I want to make sure that my interviews are always top notch too. So I feel like at sometimes my energy was waning, and I don't know if it showed very well, but I can tell you it really was. And so I want to be the best I can be. And now that I've got this incredible mic that was given to me by Scott Winkle, and I should never wave my hand in front of the camera, should I? Okay, lean back, lean in. There it goes. Now that I've got this great microphone, I want to make sure that every time I am on camera that I look and sound my best. So you get the picture. So tune in on Sunday, and also please prepare for Comic Art Live. I know the LA show is that Sunday as well. There was a miscommunication between Bashara and Mr. Kraft, because he usually does everything, and he probably helps Bashara pick that weekend. We had communicated pretty much every time before that, and for some reason we did not email at all about it, and it's unfortunate their show is on Sunday as well. But you know, I know several people will be going to that. It should be a good show. I mean, I know that I haven't been to one, but I've seen a lot of photos from them, and everybody that's gone has said they're great. As everybody knows, Dinesh is setting up a collector table. So, you know, they're going to, and Mike from the chat we had a few weeks ago, I'm sure that's going to be totally cool. Who wouldn't want to go to the show just to see what they're going to bring? So I don't begrudge anybody that doesn't attend Comic Art Live on Sunday if you're going to the LA show. But Mel. CAFU beats FU. Yes, it does. Yes, it certainly does. So, all right, everybody, lots of fun. I will see you on Sunday. And, again, please hit me up if you have any questions about Comic Art Live. I want it to be a great show. I can tell you the panels are going to be great. I just want to make sure that anybody who's setting up doesn't have any questions. If there's any confusion about how the art drops work between Saturday and Sunday, it hopefully is self-explanatory in the setup of the booth. But if it isn't, let me know. And yeah, it's true. You can attend Comic Art Live from anywhere. You don't have to travel to LA on Sunday to see it. And that's what, I'll tell you, that's the one thing that I was talking with, I'll end the show on that. I was talking with Anthony. Anthony was, he was kind of in a funk for a few weeks. I think after he had those couple bad shows. And so we had to talk about different stuff. But I let him know, it's like, what he's been able to accomplish on Dueling Dealers in the last 9 months is pretty incredible. I mean, sure, Mike sold more than he has, but he sold $600,000 worth of art from his living room in 9 months, and that's amazing. I mean, in this day and age, when we can do these things and have a good time and actually promote ourselves and run our businesses, and he's got a very complex business to run. I mean, he's done a great job, and that's what's fun about it. We can tune into these things and run them from anywhere. And we're all still figuring it all out, trying to find our way through what COVID put us in. But hopefully Anthony took that to heart, that he really has done wonders with being a part of that show. And again, I think we've all realized that we're not limited by our geographical boundaries, and we can really enjoy the hobby in a lot more ways than we thought we could before all of this. So again, yeah, cheer up, Anthony. I know, that's what I told him. We had a good talk. He's just he's overworked. Again, his business, he's like Nick Barucci at the end of the day. He's got his hands in so many different things. He's doing graded comics, coins, paper money, and then the art. I mean, I would never stretch myself that thin. And then to have to know all of that, to know all the prices and to manage all that and have all the staff, there's something to be said between just having a business be just primarily you and your wife and Colin, right? It's a much easier thing to manage. He's definitely got himself stretched pretty thin, but he should be happy with where things are at in the grand scheme of things. So anyway, all right, now I'm calling it Dum Dum Dugan hats. Yeah, that might be a fun giveaway someday. Anyway, I'll call it a night, everybody. I will see you all on Sunday evening, I hope. And if not, again, there won't be a talk show on Tuesday. Dueling Dealers again will be. I think I mentioned that, but maybe not. But yes, Wednesday for Dueling Dealers is what we're going to do. We're not going to do it on Monday. It'll be a different show, hopefully faster paced, and we'll see how that goes. So enjoy the rest of your night and have a good weekend. And I will see you at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday.